I found him. I found the man of my dreams. And he was sitting right next to me. Ang swerte ko talaga dahil maaga natagpuan ko ang aking soulmate. My other half, my significant other. While some of my friends were still searching for the one person they would share their life with, I was basking in the glory of having found him without any major glitches. Maayos ang relasyon namin ni Vian. It was a picture-perfect meeting. We were in a party and our eyes met across the room. He walked toward me and introduced himself. We stayed glued all night and the rest, it was said, was history. Since that night, 8 months ago, we had been practically joined at the hips. Halos hindi na kami magkahiwalay. In love kami sa isa't isa. Naiinggit nga sa akin ng mga unattached pa rin na kaibigan ko. I knew I may sound a bit very overconfident, but nothing would ever go wrong with our relationship. But I knew whatever obstacles would come our way, we would be able to handle them together. That was how sure I was he was the one for me. Wow, Vian! Congratulations naman sa inyo. Nakakaingit talaga kayong dalawa. Napaka-smooth sailing na relasyon nyo. Ang ibig bang sabihin ay sa simbahan ng tuloy nyo? Nagbibirong tanong ng mahaderang matalik na kaibigan ni Anne. Pinandilatan ko siya. Tama bang itanong niya ito kay Vian sa harap ng aming barkada? Kahit kasi okay ang aming relasyon ay ayoko pa rin pangunahan si Vian sa mga plano niya para sa aming dalawa. After all, our relationship hadn't reached the 1-year mark yet. Kahit siyang gusto ko makatuluyan, ay ayoko pa rin sa akin o sa best friend ko manggagaling na iniisip ko na ang pag-aasawa. May mga pagkakataong nai-imagine ko naglalakad ako sa gitna ng simbahan at naghihintay sa akin si Vian sa harap ng altar. Pero nararamdaman kong hindi pa handang mag-asawa si Vian. Sa halip, ang trabaho niya ang bukang bibig niya. Kahit paano ay naririnig ko sa kanya na gusto niya akong makasama sa future niya, kaya hindi ako nag-aalala. Alam kong darating din ang araw na yayayain niya ako magpakasal. Sa ngayon, ay mas priority niya ang pagiging arkitekto. Siguro, kapag stable na siya, ay pag-uusapan din namin ng tungkol sa aming kasal. Todo suporta naman ako sa kanya. Bata pa naman kami. I was only 26 and Vian was 25. Walang dahilan para magpanik ako. Iniisip ko na lang na dapat muna namin i-enjoy ang company ng isa't isa. But if I would be honest, at the back of my mind, I couldn't help but wonder what his real stand on marriage was. Interesado rin ako sa magiging response niya. Vian looked at me lovingly. I swore I still got butterflies in my stomach every time he looked at me like that. Vian was the epitome of the boy next door kind of guy. With his wavy hair, a bad-dimpled smile and sparkling eyes, he could surely take any girl's breath away. Hindi rin naman ako pahuhuli sa ibang babae. Ang sabi nga nila, artistahin at pang-beauty queen daw ang ganda ko. Kahawig ko raw si Precious Gigaman. At perfect match daw talaga kami ni Vian. Marriage is the last thing on our minds, right, Lily? He answered as he squeezed my hand. I was a bit let down with his response. Even if I was expecting that answer, I couldn't help but feel a tiny twinge of disappointment. Although he was not known to be the most romantic guy, I was still hoping he could catch off my guard and surprise me with a proposal. But since I didn't want to let him know my real feelings, I opted to smile and agreed with him. Mabuti nang makita ng barkada ko na parehong pananaw namin tungkol sa pagpapakasal. Of course, it's too early to talk about marriage. Isa pa, hindi pa ako handang i-give up ang pagiging single ko. Marriage can wait and we really have to make sure we're really ready for such a commitment. Pagsang-ayon ko. Ngumiti ako kahit parang may kumukurot sa aking puso. Anne looked at me with a confused look on her face. Madalas kasi namin mapag-usapan na gusto namin mag-asawa kapag nasa mid-20s na kami. Para sa amin kasi ay iyon ang ideal age for marriage. Idadagdag pa na lagi kong sinasabi sa kanya na si Vian na talaga ang lalaking papakasalan ko. Marahil ay naguguluhan si Anne sa mga conflicting statements ko. Nagkibit balikat ako. Mahirap naman na doon pa kami mag-argumento sa harap ng nobyo ko. Nakahinga lang ako ng maluwag nang maiba na ang topic namin. We were 8 in the group. Nandoon ang 3 best friend ko na si Anne, Sarah at Miles. Nandoon din ang best friend ni Vian na si Jonas at ang engaged couple na kaibigan ng mga ito na si Pao at si Girlie. In fact, the reason we were really out that night was to celebrate Pao and Girlie's impending nuptials. Parang saling pusa na nga lang ang mansari namin ni Vian. Nagpaalam si Anne na magtutungo ng CR. Sinanyasan niya ako na sumunod sa kanya. Nagpaalam din ako at tumayo mula sa aking upuan. Walang tao sa ladies' room nang pumasok kami roon ni Anne. "What gives?" tanong niya sa akin. Nakapamaywang siya at mukhang handa na sa aming komprontasyon. "What do you mean?" balik tanong ko sa kanya. "Come on, Lily. Why can't you be honest with him? Bakit hindi mo sabihin sa kanya na gusto mo nang mag-asawa?" "Are you crazy, Anne? Kapag sinabi ko iyon, para na rin ako nag-propose sa kanya. I'm not desperate to do that," sabi ko. "But honesty is the best policy. Hindi ba yun ang madalas mong sinasabi? Dapat bukas ang line of communication yung dalawa para mag-work out ang relationship niyo, hindi ba?" May halong sarkasmo na sinabi niya. "Yeah, I know. But this is different matter. I don't want to scare him off, Anne. Baka kapag nalaman niyang gusto ko ng mag-asawa, ay mag-iba siya sa akin. I don't want to lose the best thing that has ever happened to me," I wailed. "Lily, I'm not asking you to propose to him. A subtle hint would do just to let him think marriage is clearly on your mind. Baka gusto na niya mag-propose, tapos sinasabi mong hindi ka pa handa. Matatakot siya magsalita dahil baka tanggihan mo siya. Masakit yata sa ego yon." Tumango na lang ako. Naisip ko rin naman na may punto siya. Baka nga dahil sa pronouncement ko na hindi pa ako handang mag-asawa ay nagdadalawang isip si Vian na yayain ako magpakasal. Baka kasi naguguluhan lang ito o naghihintay lang kami. Hindi niya alam na sinabi ko lang iyon para hindi niya maisip na pinipressure ko siyang alukin ako ng kasal. Think about what I said, Lily. If you want him to be your groom, you better make a claim on him soon. Baka masulot pa siya ng iba. I just shrugged. I guess I had to think of a way to make Vian see I was more than ready to take the next logical step in our relationship. "Han, ang swerte ni na Gwen at Pao, no? Mukhang engrande ang kasal nila," sabi ko kay Vian habang nagbabiyahe pa kami pa uwi. "Yeah, I guess," simpleng sagot niya. I can't wait to see Girlie wedding gown. Natitiyak kong maganda iyon dahil sa inusoto ang gumawa, I said with a sigh. Napasulyap siya sa akin. "Why the long sigh? Huwag mong sabihin naiinggit ka kay Girlie. Akala ko ba hindi ka pa handang mag-asawa?" Natatawang tanong niya. "All girls dream of wearing their own wedding gown. It's a girl thing, you know," sabi ko at saka ako sumimangot. "Sorry if I took it the wrong way. Alam mo namang medyo allergic ako kapag napapag-usapan ng kasal." I went into a panic mode with his statement. Noon ko lang narinig mula sa kanya na may takot pala siya sa pagpapakasal. Paano kung wala palang patutunguhan ng aming relasyon at hindi siya seryoso sa akin? Paano na ako at ang pangarap kong ikasal? Paano na kami? "What do you mean? Bakit ayaw mong pinag-uusapan ng pagpapakasal?" Casual na tanong ko kahit parang binabayo sa kaba ang dibdib ko. Ang totoo kasi, walang successful marriage sa pamilya ko. From my parents to my titas and titos, and even my older brother, they all end up getting annulled, separated, and divorced. Nauutal na sabi niya. "So does that mean you have no intention of ever getting married?" Medyo tumaas na ang boses ko. Nagkibit balikat lang siya bilang sagot. I waited for his answer, but he chose not to say anything. And being a girlfriend who didn't want to irk her boyfriend, I just slumped on my seat and started out the window. After what seemed like forever, he started to speak. "Well, the thing is," he paused. I looked at him, waiting for him to continue. "The thing is, I have some apprehensions about marriage, but I'm not totally closing my doors to it. Alam kong nasa tao naman kung gusto niyang mag-workout ang isang relasyon at wala yun sa genes o sa history ng kanyang pamilya. I'm open to that possibility, but..." I waited for him to continue, but the traffic light turned green and he had to concentrate on his driving once again. Isa iyon sa mga pet peeves niya. Ayaw niyang may umiistorbo sa kanya habang nagmamaneho siya. We could only talk when the traffic light was red or when we were stuck in a traffic jam. Bawal din ang music sa loob ng kotse. For now, that was enough for me to hear. Kahit paano'y naibsan ng takot sa puso ko, pero nandun pa rin ang pangamba ko sa nakabitin na bat niya. Do I really want to hear it right now? O dapat na lang akong magpasalamat at hindi pa tuluyang nakasara ang puso niya sa pagpapakasal? Traffic was smooth all the way to my house, so no conversation ever took place again. Nang tumigil ang kotse niya sa tapat ng bahay ko, ay hindi ko alam kung kukulitin ko pa siya tungkol sa apprehensions niya sa pag-aasawa. But I decided against it. I didn't want to push him too hard. Lest he thought I was concerning him to marry me. I should be subtle. For now, I was going to keep my mouth shut. "Bukas ka na ba mag-uumpisa magtrabaho sa bagong boss mo?" tanong niya. Tumango ako. I worked as an administrative assistant, not exactly the most glamorous job in the world. But for me, work was work. Hindi ako ambisyosa. I always dreamed of becoming a full-time wife, and a mother, so a successful career was farther from my mind. I had no burning ambition to climb the corporate ladder. Para sa akin ay sapat nang may trabaho ako, at handa ko ipagpalit yun sa magiging pamilya ko. One thing I loved about Vian was his interest in everything I did. He was a great listener and a stickler for details. Walang nakakalampas na impormasyon sa kanya. Kapag may sinabi ako ay talagang tinatandaan niya. May pagka-photographic ang memory niya. He was great at remembering trivial matters and important events. I didn't miss any special dates and I didn't have to remind him of anything. Inaalam niya ang lahat ng gusto ko, kaya nagugustuhan ko ang lahat ng regalo niya. Wala akong may pipinta sa kanya pagdating sa bagay na iyon. Not unlike other men who just like to buy expensive things to compensate for forgetting special occasions. Vian really had a sincere desire in all that I said and did. Kaya nga, kahit ang mga special events sa pamilya ko ay alam niya, kaya botong-boto sa kanya sina mommy at daddy. Siya pa nga palagi nagpapaalala sa akin na dalawin ko sa Bulacan ng pamilya ko kahit 2 beses sa isang buwan. At kadalasan nga ay kasama ko siya nagpupunta roon. Mabuti na lang at hindi pa ako kinukulit ni na mommy at daddy kung kailan kami magpapakasal ni Vian. Pagdating kasi sa bagay na iyon ay hindi sila nakikialam. Nire-respeto nila ang desisyon ko. Ang isa sa mga reklamo ko kay Vian ay hindi siya romantiko. Hindi siya mahilig ng mga nakakailang na bagay. Hindi niya ako pinandadalhan ng mga bulaklak o sinusulatan ng love letter. Mas praktikal ang mga ginagawa niya para sa akin. Tulad ng paghatid sundo sa opisina, lalo na kapag nag-overtime ako. Ibinibili niya ako ng gamot kapag may sakit ako. Sa madaling salita, thoughtful siya pero hindi siya spontaneous. Ganun pa man ay na-appreciate ko pa rin ang lahat ng ginagawa niya para sa akin. But sometimes, I just wanted him to do something unexpected. Something that would declare his true feelings for me. "What do you know about your new boss so far?" he asked. Ang alam ko palang ay babae siya. She was hired from our office in the US. Kahit ang pangalan niya hindi pa na i-announce ng management. Bukas pa lang siya ipapakilala sa lahat. I think she just arrived from the US a few days ago. Ang totoo ay magiging temporary assistant lang niya ako. Bumuntong hininga siya. Lily, you should take more interest in your job. Dapat may alam mo ang pangyayari sa opisina. Huwag mong isipin na temporary assistant ka lang. Isang magandang career opportunity ang maging sekretarya ng marketing head, kaya magpursige kang mabuti para magustuhan ka niya at maging permanente ka na sa posisyon mo. Sermon niya sa akin. Napabuntong hininga ako. Iyon ang isang bagay na ikinaiinis ko sa kanya. Ang galing niya magsermon at manita. Gusto niya na mas maging proactive ako sa trabaho. I knew he meant well, but sometimes he acted more like a counselor than a boyfriend. Many times, he acted like he was a dad. Well, I guess I couldn't have everything. Yes sir, hayaan mo. Bukas ay bibigyan kita ng written report sa unang araw ko sa bagong boss ko. Sisiguruhin ko rin na hindi ako papalpak sa trabaho. Sabi ko, hindi ko naiwasang lang pa ng sarkasmo ang boses ko. Lily, don't you use that tone on me. Sabi niya. What tone? Patay mali siyang tanong ko. Bumuntong hininga siya. Alam kong medyo napipiko na siya sa akin. I'm only telling you of all this for your own good. I want you to make a good impression on your boss. Sabi niya na medyo bumaba na ng kaunti ang boses. Yeah, I know. Kaya lang, wala talaga naglilik na impormasyon tungkol sa bagong boss ko. Besides, I don't want to be nosy. Anyway, I promise, I'll do my best to make a good impression on her. I'm sorry for being sarcastic. He pulled me in his arms and hugged me. Huwag mong masamay ng sinasabi ko sa'yo. I only want you to do well in your job. Gumanti ako ng mahigpit na yakap. Somehow, talking about my job while I was hugging my boyfriend was not the most romantic thing in the world. But then again, that was the way Vian was. Romantic gesture na para sa kanya ang magiging supportive sa trabaho ko. Inisip ko na lang na mga ganoong paraan lang niya ipinapakita ang mahal niya ako. I knew he was still lacking in the romance department, but all in all, I guess I could say he was a great boyfriend, so I had no reason to complain. After all, he was just looking after my best interest. Hindi siya kagaya ng mga naging nobyo ko na walang interes sa trabaho at sa mga kaibigan ko. Iba siya dahil kahit ang mga kaibigan ko ay naging kaibigan din niya. In fact, nag-merge na nga mga kaibigan namin. We were now a big happy group. He really tried to fit into my life and for that, I learned to love him more. Iyon ang plus point niya pero syempre, may mga negative points din siya. Maybe I was being too arrogant and smug when I said I had the perfect relationship because clearly there were issues between us and that we needed to talk about and work on. At isa sa mga bagay na iyon nga ngayon ko lang nalaman na pagiging hesitant niya tungkol sa pag-aasawa. Nevertheless, I still thought he was the one for me. It was just that if he wanted to really make it last, we needed to work on few things. The first thing on the list was how I could subtly change his mind about marriage. At dito na po nagtatapos ang ating kwento. Sabay-sabay po nating abangan ang susunod na kabanata. Maraming salamat po. God bless and stay safe.